How's everybody doing tonight? Hello. Thank you guys for coming to the IndieNomicon Indieversary. My name is Dave Sushel. I'm one of the board members for IndieNomicon. If you are a board member or a volunteer or somebody who has helped make this event possible over the last year, please wave your hand, make some noise. A lot of people wearing the blue shirts. All of these people are amazing people, amazing advocates for local video games. Come up and talk to us afterwards. We definitely want to get to know you guys. We want to get some feedback about how this last year has been for you all with IndieNomicon. What we can do to be better in the next year. For those of you that maybe this is your first time attending an IndieNomicon event, you should know that we are a group here in Orlando that is, our mission is to raise awareness for locally developed video games. We've been doing this since April of 2013. Our first event, we had about 25 people show up by accident. And since then, our numbers have grown. You can see we've got a really great turnout tonight. We're really happy to have you guys here celebrating our IndieNomicon anniversary. So to help celebrate, we put together a little video, kind of a recap of the things that we've done since then. Too many cool games in Orlando being made that were ignored by and large by the people who lived here. And we wanted to make a difference and change that. So we organized, we got together, we started planning events, and at the time we knew of only about 6 studios that were making games here in Orlando. Among the 5 or 6 of us that started this group. And over time that has grown. We now have a list of about 35 individual groups or single game developers that are making games, releasing them in different marketplaces. We think that's really something awesome to celebrate. So thank you guys for helping us make this last year a huge success. We're going to continue doing it. We're going to do some really big things in 2014. We're really excited to have you guys be a part of that. So starting things off for our second year, we have two really cool games that we're going to be showing off: Wizard Ops Tactics and Magicite. We're going to start with Kunal Patel from Wizard Ops. Let's give him a round.
Hello? You guys hear me? Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. So let me turn this presentation on. All right, cool. So something we've been working on for a little while is Wizard Ops Tactics 2. Kind of what we found is, and I guess if this is the first time you've came across it, it's a turn-based tactics game, strategy game, where you build up armies and you take them into battle against friends. And we released Wizard Ops Tactics 1 last year, and it was almost kind of like our test. We ended up putting together a lot of different features and put it out into some markets, and we found a couple things that were missing. We got a lot of feedback. We had people playing our game. We had people running tournaments, and across all of that, we ended up learning a lot of things that go into what's needed for building a mobile game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some of the new features that we're putting in, and I'm going to show you a little trailer and then some videos so you get an idea for what it is. And then also mention kind of like who we are, Phyken Media, which is the game studio here in Orlando, Florida. We're just down the street, a couple minutes away. It's kind of great being here downtown. So how did we get here? So myself and Ken Paris are the founders. We had a background in computer science. We did 3D art and animation as well. We graduated in 2004, so that dates us to a certain point from University of Miami. When we graduated, we looked at each other and were like, so, do you want to write accounting software or do you want to do games? And we chose games, but we knew that that's super risky and kind of dangerous. So we kind of went the long route. So he went and studied a little bit more in games, and I went into corporate America, and I became like a CTO for a couple different companies. I ended up starting Phyken Tech. Lack of originality, I guess. And so we did things related to network and infrastructure and virtualization and a lot of other things that might be boring to you all. And I did that all around the East Coast, around the world. I actually flew to India and I'd spend months there doing projects. I'd stow away on trains, like literally, because the infrastructure there is terrible. And so like when the conductor would come down one aisle, I'd run down the other. And it's just so when we get to like Mumbai, like where we can do a presentation and get some customers, all that stuff was done just in the hopes and the dream that, you know what, we're building up revenue to start our studio, which is going to be an experiment. But we did that. And finally in 2010, we said, hey, we're getting older. We should do this thing. We should try it. Now's a good time. So in 2010, we decided to make that leap. And we started building a small team from there. A lot of people came from VIA, which is UCF's master's program for game development. And so we built a kind of a small, scrappy, resourceful team, and we adopted Unity. And I remember my co-founder telling me, like, he went to some Unity conference a while back, and it was a brand new thing at the time. And he's like, I don't know, this thing, like, there's 12 people in the room. And I guess all of you guys know how big Unity is now. It's kind of amazing how fast it's growing. It's grown with the indie community. And so we ended up deciding, with our first few titles, we're going to focus on original IP. So building a team, it takes time. You'll see some people here, maybe you will recognize them from around town. We went to Alcatraz, we went to San Francisco and did all the touristy things. Just kind of taking in what GDC is, what a Unity conference is. We did spend a couple nights in a haunted house. Got a really great rate on it. The ghost came free, and one of our artists did get possessed. Like, that's a true story. Like, talk to some of us, will tell you. We didn't end up in jail, we just toured through jail. And for our first title, we actually had Michael Winslow, the guy from Police Academy and Spaceballs, who did all the sound effects. So he did all the sound effects for our first title, which is pretty crazy. We just asked, like, hey, we have a studio. And he was like, hey, I love games, and went from there. So going into our game, it's a 3D turn-based strategy game. We made it cross-device, cross-platform. We actually built like the server backend component to it, so you can play it across all these different devices. You can play against different people. As is with mobile, it's free to play with IAP, and it is in production. We hope we can wrap up some of the features that we have pending on it. The core loop is you collect, you unlock new units, you can purchase packs, you get weapons, army formations, how you arrange these armies, you can buy those formations, and that enables you to do new types of battle. And we also ended up putting in a single-player campaign into this sequel, which is a pretty big thing, like a whole entire like story-based campaign with AI. The features in here, you end up getting these units by buying booster packs. So almost like you open it up and you get cards. You get a card for weapons or units, and you take that in and you can customize the army that you take in to fight in the story campaign or against your friends. We ended up changing our army builder, and we ended up focusing a little bit more on purchasing formations. So where a formation might be just 3 units with a certain number of options, or 6 units with maybe not as many options, we ended up changing it a bit. And I'll show you some video so you guys have an idea. I mentioned the campaign. So this is not Hogwarts, but this is the story is you end up coming to this school and you're kind of going through the motions of meeting friends, you're meeting your professors, and of course, there's really some weird stuff going on. As you meet all these new people, you, of course, end up fighting them all, on these battlefields. We ended up designing these 3D rooms that you go into as you go through this Wizard University. And you end up fighting each of these opponents in these rooms. They're pretty beautiful. We ended up changing a lot of the battlefields that were in the game as well, and we gave them secondary objectives. So, the Whimsydrome is the lone exception where you just kill. And Snowy Skirmish, you can destroy the other team's snowmen. So if you do that, you end up winning. Poison Plunge is if you capture the control point. Skullcano is a little bit like a Bond villain lair. So you have to destroy the core or protect it. Otherwise, a unicorn factory explodes. Makes sense. And Beach Brawl, which is capture the flag. So you run over to the other side, grab the flag, run back to the other side. So we ended up making each of these unique in some way. So it's fun to play like repeatedly. And with monetization, we have in-app purchases. You can play this game for free. We try not to be evil. And there's things like gold doublers, experience doublers. There's a quest system, so you can do those, and that gives you the gold that you need to be able to build up armies and get units and then formations. And between your matches, there would be some sort of a ad, but that would go away if you purchase anything. Here are a few different screenshots, but really, when you take a look at the video, you'll kind of get an idea of what it's like. All right, so I'm going to show you a trailer of the game. I'll give you an idea. next video I'm going to show you is just different things that are within gameplay, so you guys have an idea. And also, during the evening, if you guys want to come back over there, where you're going to see our wizard puppets, you can actually play the game. Or I can give you some information where you can actually download a private beta, so you guys can actually play it, give us feedback, and some of that actually might end up in the game. So here you see a little bit of our new army builder, where there's a heavy knight, and you can load in new abilities for him. And you can load in weapons to replace your special commander abilities. I'll scrub through this a little bit. So here you see some of the levels that we put into the game. And this is Beach Brawl, and each one is very different. This is Poison Plunge, Skullcano. It's off on the unicorns are off on the side, so really if you end up losing, if you lose or win, you do end up seeing it. See, there it is over there. And every single turn that moves along, you see this missile that rises up. So the suspense builds, like you see, like, oh, 3 turns and this missile's going to lift off and those unicorns are going to die. The stakes have never been higher. And then you see these snowmen right here. They actually wave at you, so you have to kill them. But you're killing the other team's snowmen. And then here's Whimsy Drone, and those are Uniwhales vomiting rainbows. So this is where you kill. So this is one of the only levels where that's the only objective. And this shows you an example of like some of the rooms where some of the stories happen, really absurd interactions between these different characters. And then you can navigate across like this battlefield. So you can go down to the shop by clicking this piggy. When you want to go to PvP, you go to this battle arena right over here. If you want to go to the army builder, you go down here. Places like that. And the camera angle can change like while you're in battle, and you select where you want to attack, where you want to move. And we changed up some of the mechanics on how you move to make it a little bit simpler. We ended up doing a lot of play testing. So we went to FIA, we went to Full Sail, we went to IADT. We had real people that played this and told us things, and then we were like, oh no, you're lying, but no. They actually played and we took notice. So that just shows you a little bit of the gameplay, and I think that's it. So if there's any questions, oh, and I guess I can just show you maybe a little bit of this. Just these are some of the characters that you end up fighting along the way, and each has the objectives to kind of go through and play. So yeah, any questions? Yeah.
I forgot what the game is called.
Oh, it's called Wizard Ops Tactics 2.
Wizard Ops?
Yes, Tactics 2.
Okay.
But don't worry, there's a card all the way back there with the puppets. You can just grab one of those, and then you'll be able to fund the game. Yeah?
So it's coming out for all cross-platforms, so Android, iPhone, PC, PSP.
Well, no. It's cross-platform in terms of at least mobile. The primary ones like iOS and Android, and then possibly Windows. But we're going to do it, in a phased manner. So we're only so large, so we're going to focus on, platform, make sure it's working, and then be able to do that. But ultimately, we have the technology to do so. Yeah.
Time for one more question.
Yeah.
What was the size of the development team, and how long did it take for you to finish this?
So, you know, I want to say we were 7 people. Yeah. And for Wizard Ops Tactics 2, we started basically, I think, maybe towards the end of summer, I think, is when we decided, like, you know what, the things that we're building is not version 2.0. This is totally different. Like, this is a new game. So I mean, we had a head start in some of the assets and some of the technology in the back end, but in terms of like building the campaign, the AI that goes into playing against these people, like you know, how intelligent, what is the competency, how aggressive are these, you know, enemies, all that kind of stuff happened from, I believe, the end of last summer to about now, and you know, we're working on like a side project right now, but we're hoping to wrap up a few of the features we need before we release. So kind of like AI battles. It's like PvP, but not against somebody else, just AI. You know, things like that.
All right. Thank you very much, Camilla.
Guys over there later on in the evening.
She was playing video game covers, original tunes from her game Harry Arion that they're working on. So let's give her a big round of applause. Harry Arion, by the way, is currently running a Kickstarter campaign. They only have a few days left, and the good news is they've already met their goal and exceeded it. They're 150%. So that's awesome. So, yeah. So go talk to them. If you guys can just raise your hands, Erica and the team from TPA Games. Talk with them, support their game. It's a really awesome local Orlando game, and we want to see it do well. So good job, guys. Also, another cool bit of news. If you were here last month, you got to see 3 Dead Zed from Gentleman Squid. Where are the Gentleman Squid people? If you remember, they were encouraging you all to go and vote for it on Steam Greenlight, and it has officially been greenlit. Congratulations, guys. It's an awesome game. Can't wait to play it. And I don't know, I mean, like, you know, show it off at IndieNomicon a month later. It's like, you know, it's Steam Greenlight. What do you think? I don't know. I don't know, a little something. Also, one other thing we want to announce. Hopefully you've all seen our merchandise table and seen these sick t-shirts that we are now selling. These t-shirts were designed by Keith Carlson. Where's Keith? Where's Keith? Come on up here now. This was a contest we held last month, and Keith submitted the winning design. So he's won gift cards to Steam. One of the t-shirts, he gets to wear his own t-shirt. And in addition to that, he's received a subscription to the Indie Box, which we're going to talk about in a moment. So congratulations to him. Okay. So we hope you guys are enjoying the show, and we hope you enjoyed everything that we've done up to this point. It's only going to keep getting better. We do have the merchandise table in the back. We get the t-shirts that Keith designed. We also accept donations. If you're having fun, if you want to see us keep doing these events, it helps to support us. They cost a little bit of money to run, but we hope you guys will continue to support us so we can do cool things in the remainder of 2014. Next, where's James Morgan? James Morgan, one of our board members from IndieNomicon, a really cool dude. He's working on a project called the Indie Box, and we're going to talk to you guys for a couple minutes about it.
Hello. Hey guys. So yeah, as Dave mentioned, I'm running a company called IndieBox, and I just want to start off with a quick question. Who was young enough to get like the original NES or Super Nintendo or Genesis games back in the day? All right, cool. Quite a few of you guys. How many of y'all miss getting those boxes and all the cool stuff in them? All right, so cool. Just about as many of you guys. So a couple of friends of mine came up with this idea to bring back the box, and so we started a company called IndieBox, and it's sort of like Loot Crate for video games. Every month you get a new indie game mailed to you in the mail, like the actual mail, not your email, and it's been given a collector's edition treatment. So we give you a full color box, manual, You've got a cartridge in there, just like you would get with like the Nintendo back in the day. CD soundtrack with bonus tracks on there. We've also got lots of other goodies like stickers and buttons that are going to be in there as well. And we've got lots of great sponsors that are going to offer even more stuff that goes in the box. So we're packing that thing. Someone's a hater. So we're packing that box full of awesome stuff. So we got a booth right over here in the back. If you'd like to come check us out, you can sign up for our monthly subscription. We're pretty aggressive on the price. It's just $14.99 a month. So you sign up, we'll ship it to you every single month, and it's a really great indie game. The first game we're starting out with, I'm not going to tell you it's a mystery every month, but it's absolutely gorgeous, hand-painted art, and the soundtrack is just beautiful. It brings tears to your eyes. So if you want to know more, my name is James. I've also got my other board members here with me, John Hicks Carter and Joe Rolls. We'll be over here at the booth after this is over. Thank you, guys.
Okay, a few orders of business. I want to let you guys know about some events that are happening in the next month. First of all, how many of you have heard of a documentary film called Orlando Rising? All right, we have some of the Orlando Rising folks in the house. Where is, let's see, what we have? Nicole, correct? There's going to be a screening of Orlando Rising on April 8th at the Orlando Science Center. You want to speak for a minute?
Hi everybody, I'm Nicole. I worked on the Orlando Rising film project, which is a documentary project about Orlando's technology community. So it's a great way to find out what's going on in town. We kind of cover the full range. IndieNomicon is in there, and Phyken Media Canal spoke on the documentary film. So come on out for that. We also cover the colleges. We cover a lot of the startup groups that are going on around town, some of the established businesses, the big projects like Creative Village and Lake Nona, and some of this really good stuff, really good activity that's going on right now in the tech community. So come on out. It's April 8th. It's at the Orlando Science Center. It's free, free to attend, free parking, and you can find more information at orlandorising.com.
There's also an event over in Melbourne called the Space Coast Nerd Fest. It is happening not this Saturday, but next Saturday. That's the 12th. IndieNomicon is going to have a presence there. We're going to be showcasing a bunch of local Orlando video games. So if you guys feel like driving out to Melbourne, it's going to be a really fun event. We'll be there. We're wearing a T-shirt. I think, what was the rule? I think we're going to give hugs to whoever's wearing IndieNomicon T-shirts. Yeah, it's a good deal. Yeah, it's a really good deal. It's a really good deal. And our next monthly meetup is going to be on May 1st from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. here at the Melrose Center. We're going to be showing off two really cool games, Omega Hero by Crazy Rock Creative and Kitty Catnip by Martian Media Games. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Our final game tonight is a really cool game. I can't wait to get over there and start playing this one on the big screen. Magicite by Sean Young. Where's Sean? All right, come on, man.
Magicite. I'm a one-man team. I'm currently a junior at UCF, studying computer science. It's not loading. Here we go. Here's my Kickstarter page. Ran this a while back. I'll show you the trailer. And some of this. Oh, can you hear me now? Good. Okay. Sorry, it's like my second time doing one of these things.
Yay.
Okay. What's the F10? F5. Thank you. All right. Let's get started. Magicite. Yeah, I told you guys up ECF. All right. Smash Games. I recently made it official, made it an LLC. Here's all my crappy mobile games. I'm proud of a few of them. Pixel Kingdom was my latest one. That one was pretty cool. Backyard Zombies is my first one here. How many of you are actually developers yourselves? I see. Oh wow, a lot of people. Yeah, back in freshman year when I was working on Backyard Zombies, I literally thought it was the next Angry Birds. And man, when I launched that, it was a wake-up call. I was depressed for like a month. And but I think that was important to when you're developing a game, like to think that it's the best for you and everyone else, like it's flawless, and to experience that failure. Because the number one thing that stops developers, I think, is fear of failure, and failing too. So after that, I just wanted to make even better games, and well, that didn't happen. Until I decided, hey, you know what? I want to make a PC game. And so that's where Magicite comes in. And so I decided to go the whole Kickstarter greenlight route, where I would try to get a lot of backers and get a lot of greenlight folks. And it ended up working okay. So I guess I can tell you a little bit about Magicite. I guess start with the main influences. Let's see, Monster Hunter, Minecraft, especially hardcore mode, Terraria. A lot of people say my game's a Terraria ripoff. It's not, I promise. Spelunky and a lot of other roguelikes, because that seems to be what a lot of people enjoy playing, and what I enjoy playing. And so here you can see characters in a town. That's where you can talk to NPCs and craft things. There's a bunch of different biomes, different monsters and stuff. And the whole thing is basically it's like, think of Monster Hunter 2D but with permanent death. So characters can last from like 5 seconds to like probably around an hour is what it takes to actually beat the game. But it's gonna be more than one try for sure. So here's some more enemies and stuff. You can craft. Crafting's a really big thing in Magicite. You just shift click any two items and usually it'll combine into something. Like 2 pieces of wood equals a wooden plank. And with that you can start making sword hilts, axe hilts. There's a bunch of other cool stuff. Here's one of the bosses, the Yeti guy. You can see in the last update on Steam I added hats and new races. So there's a miner hat. It's pretty cool. There's a mushroom biome. And yeah, that's it. There's it's multiplayer too. You can play with your friends. It's kind of like Minecraft and Terraria, where someone hosts and everyone else connects. So that's pretty cool. But here's the race screen. There's the pig folk there. We got a bunch of other different guys. Each race starts out with different items, different stats. The pig folk is kind of like a joke class, as you can see. He gets -1 to all stats, so it's pretty crappy. And he's the hardest one to get. Here's all the hats too. We got a bunch. I plan on adding a lot more. And let's see there. Every time you eat, your character poops. You can see a pile of poop right there. And so, I guess right now I'm in version 0.7.1, I think, no, 0.5. And I plan on adding a lot more biomes, a lot more different types of enemies, new craftable items, and just a bunch of new content.
Thank you for visiting the Orange County Library System. We will be closing in 15 minutes. So please ask any staff member for assistance finding the information or materials you are seeking.
And yeah, I guess that's basically it with Magicite. I kind of wanted to talk more about.
Are you done, library?
about the developer side of things and how I actually got on Steam and the whole process with that. If you're trying to get on Steam and you're going through Greenlight, I highly suggest doing a Kickstarter simultaneously, because they can, benefit each other, with the Kickstarter backers and your Greenlight votes. And it's very important to generate a lot of hype before you even start doing that. So there's a ton of resources you can do, like a lot of forums you can post on. I suggest indie gaming on Reddit, the subreddit. Take Source forums, IndieDB, a few other ones I forgot, but yeah, make sure you can build a fan base before even attempting Greenlight and Kickstarter, because it's pretty hard, especially when it's your first game. And so if anyone has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. You.
Are you allowed to download it on your phone?
Oh, no, this is my first non-mobile game. You can download all my other games, they're pretty cool. Any other?
So how long has it been from start to now? How long did it take to develop this?
This was definitely the longest game I worked on, so probably about 6 months. And so I'm still not done. Probably like another 2 months it'll be finished, but yeah, this is like 6 months of work.
What technology?
Oh yeah, Unity.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody loves Unity, so it's kind of dumb to go and write your own engine and try to. That's what I wanted to do originally, but then my friend showed me Unity, and it's convenient because you can make a game and immediately with a click of a button you're on any platform you want. So yes, 6 months.
Still being a student in school, how much time would you say you devoted, like during any one day, like, this amount of time for my assignments, this amount of time for my game, like 50% of my time for my game, and 10% for my
I don't want to be a bad example. Stay in school, kids. I don't know. Starting from the first game back in freshman year, I became obsessed. Like, I would work 8 hours a day. I don't know, especially with Magicite. You can ask my girlfriend. That's all I do. I don't really pay attention to anything else, but right now I'm not taking any classes this semester because I wanted to focus on Magicite. So I hope that answers your question.
I noticed you have a ton of mobile games, and then you went to PC. So I can imagine that's pretty liberating because there's a lot of constraints on mobile with processing power and such. Are you going to continue down the PC line, or are you going to go back to mobile? Which is your favorite?
I don't really see myself going back to mobile. I'd like to move forward to the consoles, actually, PS4, Xbox One, Wii U. I already talked to Nintendo a little bit, and I just have to buy the dev kit now. It's like $3,500 though. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to be going back to mobile, and I love Steam too. Steam's great, Valve's great, so definitely want to make more PC games as well.
So now that you're on Steam, how many hits are you getting at this point? Like as far as like people playing the game and everything, like do you actually have like a chart you can see like consistency of people's playing your game and downloads per day and stuff like that?
Yeah, they give you a lot of information similar to how other mobile companies work. They'll show you like downloads per day. Currently, like people playing. I peaked at like 200 something people playing at once, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like revenue-wise, it's a lot more than I ever saw with mobile games. Because Steam is huge and it's great, especially for indie developers.
What was your motivation for having a permadeath mechanic? Just because it's a short game, or something else?
Probably hardcore mode in Minecraft, because my friends and I played Minecraft for a long time, and the mode that really stuck with us was the hardcore part. And we loved the beginning. Like, even if we played for a long time in hardcore and we survived for a week, we would get kind of bored. So I I want to make a game that could capture that very few, like the first moments in hardcore mode, and that's what inspired Permadeath. And that's when I started seeing like all these roguelike games, and I went and played all of them, like Spelunky, Risk of Rain, which is also another student game, FTL, and a few other ones. But yeah, that's where I came from. What was that last part?
And how's your transition to working at Steam?
Yeah, this is my first time working with Steam, and it's pretty easy. Valve makes it really easy to get your game out and to publish updates and stuff. A lot quicker than mobile, too. There's no review process, actually, aside from Greenlight. Once you do get on Steam, you can just pump out like an update whenever you want, and it's really easy. So it's a lot better than mobile, I think.
In addition to Steam, are you on any other platforms?
Like PC.
Like Steam, Sora,
Oh, okay, yeah. No, once version 1.0 comes out, I do plan on switching over to is it GOG or something, and Viscera and all those. For sure, yeah.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of working by yourself?
Well, the advantage is, it's my way. I can do whatever I want, which is pretty cool. Although I did have some guy do the music, so I don't know how to do music. And I guess the disadvantages would be it gets lonely. My friends and I used to get together and do something we call Dev Night, which I would love to do now, but they're all different universities. And what it is we're all working on our own games, but we're all together and we feed off each other's energy and stuff. And it's really cool, and I would love to do that more, but I guess I need to meet more developers here.
Okay. Did you do all of the pixel art yourself?
Yeah, it's done in Photoshop, and all the animations are done with Blender.
And also, what was the inspiration for Dress Up? If you could point at any particular
Jeez. I mean, I really like the minimalistic art style, kind of like Risk of Rain and stuff, but mine's a little more chunky. But yeah, probably Risk of Rain, Terraria as well. Yeah, I get that a lot with the Castle Crasher stuff. So yeah, that's probably my main influences.
I have time for one more question.
You took my art question, so back to the poop. Can you use that to craft anything in the game?
The what?
The poop. Your character poops.
The poop. Oh.
Yeah, can you use that to like make stuff, like make boxes or clothes?
How long did you put up that film at a time?
I hope no one had anything else important to say. Now we're going to cover this. Right now you can't craft with the poop. Forget this game.
Can you at least set fire to the poop?
Next update. Thanks for your time, guys.
I want to thank you guys again for coming out and helping us to celebrate our Indieversary. We have 2 additional treats for you guys before we expand. Number 1, we have some chiptunes music provided by Astro Pro that's going to be going on between now and 8:45. And we also have cake. So we're going to direct you guys. The cake is going to be out in that main area here shortly, just in the next few minutes. It's okay. It's first come, first serve. It's a pretty decent sized cake, but everybody's going to get like 10 pieces to try to accommodate as many people as we can. All right, thank you guys very much for coming out. Go play the games. Thank you.
That's phone and then